Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another evening show, another 10 p.m. show. I thought to myself, maybe we should run a show in the daytime, but do you know what? There's quite a lot of football happening. A lot going on as well, not just in the Premier League, but my local team, Reading, were playing. I thought I'd see what happens there. They lost 4-2 to Barnsley. I end up working on Saturdays as well, so I thought we'd just do an evening show, save it. I'll have a stream tomorrow morning as well. Big up to everyone that's watching. Smash the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. Apologies for the lateness, Steve. Listen, I'm consistent. I mean, you got to give me that. But we'll see what happens. We're going to go through all of the latest news. We're going to talk about tomorrow, obviously, against Liverpool. That's a massive game that's coming up, especially considering the points that Forest dropped. We can be in a very, very good position. Well, yeah, I know he's at Juve, but he's a Chelsea player, isn't he? I should have probably specified that when I asked for the thumbnail. I did think to myself, doesn't look great. But there's some news to do with Vega. That's why I put him in the thumbnail. All right, there's some news to do with Vega. Hi, Alex, and then Kungu leaving parting. I'm in. What is this news to do with Kungu? Have I not seen something? Is this new? What's going on? What's the news with Kungu? Who do I need to look at for this Kungu news? Give me a tweet. Give me something. I'm not seeing any Kungu. I haven't seen any of that. When has this come out? Ah, okay. All right. This seems to be. I see. So, according to Pletigol, Kungu has decided to leave Chelsea this summer. There's no longer any doubt about it. His contract runs until 2029. Talks are ongoing. So, yeah, he wants to leave Chelsea. He has made his own decision, to be honest with you. I thought we already knew this anyway, so this doesn't seem to be brand new news. But there you go. At least it's official now. We know the player no longer wants to remain at the club. I think a lot of people could have seen that based on his performances anyway, and his lack of effort in a lot of games. Now, I will say that this notion that some people have said Kungu has been the biggest flop ever. I'm like, don't know about that. If you look at Sky Sports, they released a tally with Chelsea's sort of highest scorers in GA in all competitions. And Kungu is right up there. And considering that's a player who's been poor for us, you'd say, well, imagine if he would actually have been utilized properly and maybe even, considered to be a part of this team, that's valued. There you go. And Kungu joint with Enzo Fernandez for the most GA in all competitions on 19. Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer just in front of him. And Kungu's been rubbish. I mean, that just says that our manager doesn't know how to utilize the player. He is a top player. There's no doubt about it. He's a quality player. I won't buy this notion that Nkunku's not good enough for Chelsea. He's always been good enough for Chelsea. The manager doesn't know how to use him. Never wanted to use him either. Started him in the Premier League on the wing. Played him as a striker. Could have easily played Palmer on the right to fit Nkunku into this team. Chose not to do that. And that's what he wanted to do. So, listen, I'm not going to criticize Maresca for it. I've done it plenty of times. Everyone knows how I feel about Kungu. No doubt in my mind, this could have been a top player for Chelsea. And it's a good signing that ultimately I think the club let down. And, look, he let us down as well. There's no doubt about that. I'm not denying that he could have put more effort in certain games. From January onwards, his head wasn't with Chelsea. It was somewhere else. And I think it's just a bit of a shame, really, because last season I saw glimpses of a top player, but he was never available. And obviously come back into the fold. We started winning matches, goals against Brighton, etc. Like, we had some good times. It wasn't all bad, but generally speaking, this is this is the reality for Kungu. He's not going to be at Chelsea anymore. Why is that? Do you know what? I should have asked my thumbnail guy to put the Juventus logo on. I don't know. I specify. I just presumed he would do the Juventus logo. He didn't. He did the Chelsea one. So apologies for that. I saw an update to do with Vega earlier today, so that's why he's on the thumbnail. Because there was an update which we will go through. Yeah. So is that catching everyone off guard? The fact that they're seeing Vega in the thumbnail. To be honest with you, I did see it myself, and I thought, I don't know. I wasn't 100% sure about that thumbnail myself, to be fair. But these things are. It would take a little bit longer than I would like to resubmit it. So there you go. The reason that I put Vega in the thumbnail was because of this news that came out via Give Me Sport. Nottingham Forest are scouting Renato Vega, who is on loan at Juventus from Chelsea, but reinforcements may also depend on possible departures. Okay, this is according to Give Me Sport. I actually think I might subscribe to Give Me Sport as well. I'm seeing a lot of stuff from them recently. Has anyone subscribed to them? Because I'm currently subscribed to The Athletic, which I like. I like The Athletic, but I mean, in terms of articles, I'm talking those small articles that we go through regarding transfer specific players. I don't see as much of it from The Athletic as maybe I would like to. I see a lot of stuff from The Telegraph, the Daily Mail. Give Me Sport is one that pops up all the time at the moment. So if anyone is subscribed, please let me know what you actually think of it, because I think I might subscribe so we can get more out of these stories, because we end up just getting little, small quotes out of it. Yeah, I'll have a look, see how much it is. Also, we've got to give a massive shout out to Dean Hoyson, who was fantastic against Arsenal. I watched the second half. To be honest, I thought Arsenal were absolutely poor. I thought they were piss poor in that game. And Bournemouth, I'm not going to sit here and say they created a million chances, because they didn't. But it was a bit like an Arsenal-esque performance in a lot of ways, not necessarily playing as well, but still managing to capitalize on a silly mistakes via the opposition with some scrappy set piece goal. We had the long throw and then the corner as well, which this man managed to get on the end of. And Dean Hoyson, I'll tell you what. Also, the commentary said Dean Howson. I was thinking, is that how you pronounce it? Have I been saying it wrong the whole time? Is it Hoyson or Howson? Because if he's Spanish, I don't know any Spaniards with the last name Howson. He did dunk on them. He absolutely dunked. Why isn't Juve keeping Vega? Probably because of financial issues, if I'm totally honest. I think it's probably financial, but we don't know. I mean, they could put in a bid. Who knows? I think it's unlikely that they bid as much as we might want. I think the likelihood is that we could sell Vega for a good profit, maybe 25 million or something like that. Not sure if Forest is the club that I would go for, but hey, anything's possible in this day and age. Yeah, Dean Hoyson for me, based on what I saw in that second half, was fantastic. He was winning balls deep. He was driving up the pitch, getting involved. His footwork was good. He nice recoveries. He's a tall player. He's got a good header. Scored from a throw, and it was a fantastic goal, to be fair. And just a pleasant player to watch, really. He looks pretty mature when he's playing. And age is but a number when it comes to players' maturity. You can see it on the pitch, irrespective of age. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had that 16-year-old, goodness, what's his name, that came on against Jadon towards the end of the game. So, yeah, age is a factor, but it's not every factor. And listen, if Dean Hoyson was the only player that we signed, I think we could all agree that it is a disappointing window. This is not our only priority at the club at the moment. We need to prioritize obviously getting a better goalkeeper than we have, but we already have that with Petrovic. You just hope Chelsea have common sense. We need a striker, we need a goal scorer, and we need 2 centre backs. We don't need one, we need 2. Disasi is going to leave. Fofana's injury prone. Badiashiel's not good enough. Tossin's a rotation option. Cowwell, quite frankly, hasn't been good enough, to be honest with you, although I'd be willing to give him another season. But really, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I'd love to have Cowwell in this team at the moment. That's not the way I'm looking at him. And I just think we need more quality, more depth, more leadership in that position. Those are positions we've got to take very seriously. And if you invest in key positions, they do perform. Look at the best performance in this team, in this Chelsea team. Cucurella, Caicedo, Fernandes. Surprise, surprise, they all cost a lot of money. And they were, I'm not going to say ready-made players, but Caicedo was still one of the best midfielders in the Premier League when we signed him from Brighton. Enzo Fernandez was a World Cup winner, and Cucurella was wanted by Man City. So it's not like our scouting network needed to do anything special to figure out that those players would help this team. It's pretty obvious. So if you're getting Hoyson and Gurhi as well from Crystal Palace, for me, those are both positive players for this team, for this system. And I think that they would settle in very nicely. But let me know what you think, guys. I mean, who knows? Who knows? There's also been an article as well by The Athletic on Romeo Lavia, which has come out, and it's all about Chelsea's style of play. Essentially, us relying on Romeo Lavia under Enzo Maresca and what it is that the player does that is so key for us. It's quite a long article, to be fair. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of part of it, just so you can see, because I honestly don't know if I'm going to want to read through all of it. Is, you know, how does Lavia break lines with his passing? You've got the attacking phases, first half, the second half. Was it first phase or second phase? Oh, different defensive lines from the opposition. I don't know. It's just interesting, isn't it, when you think about Lavia? If you want me to, I can go through this, guys. I haven't got a problem with it. It's just a fairly long article. So I'm happy to do it. It would probably take me 20 minutes, 15 minutes. 15 minutes if you want me to go through what The Athletic had to say about Romeo Lavia. If I've got time, I will do it, because to be quite frank, there is not a ridiculous amount to go through. So yeah, we will actually touch on Lavia. Interesting comment as well by Vince. Vince is an interesting guy. He's very level-headed. This is what he had to say about Strasbourg, who beat PSG today, by the way, 2-1 in Ligue 1. That's propelling them into a Champions League position in France, which, if we're not honest, if Chelsea finish in the Champions League as well, it's actually not a great thing. We don't want both teams to finish in the Champions League. In an ideal world, Chelsea finish in the Champions League and Strasbourg finish in the Europa League. Vince said this about Strasbourg. He said, Strasbourg is such a strategic investment by Blueco. No better league to buy a huge traditional club for cheap than in France, who also produce the biggest number of talents annually. In Spain, the academy is dominated by Barca, Atletico, and Real Madrid. But in France, every small club has a hidden gem nobody knows about. Scouting and picking up elite prospects is easier to do in France because the pool is huge. Look at prospects Blueco have picked up in France in a short time. Bakwa Sarr, Lemarachal and Doué, and inherited Diarra and Decore. Add that to the Nancy's and Amigos that came from the lower leagues to play regularly in Ligue 1, which is the best league to develop players and get them ready for the Premier League in no time. Everywhere I look is a W. One of Blueco's best decisions so far. I mean, everybody knows how I feel about the ownership. Blueco is a part of that. I think the ownership are a disgrace. And I think that they only care about money. And I think that's their only priority. I think Todd Boehly cares about long-term financial gain, and I think that Clear Lake care about short-term financial gain. That's the only difference. But it is a great investment on a... it is a great investment. That's not wrong. That is true. And even on a footballing side, I have to agree that I think Strasbourg is really good. I like Strasbourg. I think that when we bought Strasbourg, I was quite happy about it. When I see Strasbourg on there, I want Strasbourg to do well. And I quite like the idea that we have this team in France that we can loan players to, develop them, and then bring them back. I think it's brilliant in that sense. So from a financial side, we all know the game. Let's not kid ourselves. But from a footballing side, I can't criticize Strasbourg, to be honest with you, because I think that the development has been exceptional. I like the fact that they hired Patrick Vieira when they first come in. His first season was good. He then struggled. Liam Rosni come in. He's been fantastic. I'm very intrigued to see what Strasbourg do next season if they are in the Champions League. I mean, that would be a team that I'm rooting for heavily. I don't keep up to date with the French league, but maybe we need to start talking about Strasbourg because they are having some serious impacts on Chelsea. We're looking at what's it called? What's the player? Sarr, the centre back. He's a Chelsea player now. Petrovic, Andre Santos. These are all players that have developed because of Strasbourg. And I think that, that is something that I have. There's a massive thumbs up from me. If you said to me, would you rather have Strasbourg or not have Strasbourg? I wouldn't really have to think about it. I'd say, of course, I'd have Strasbourg. It's beneficial to us. It's hugely beneficial to us. And it is allowing us to do something that a lot of teams don't have the privilege of having, which is to directly develop players in a way that suits Chelsea, but also improves the local club itself. I know that fans in Strasbourg have been protesting, and the reason they're protesting is, again, not for footballing reasons. It's a little bit more political than that. The reason they're protesting is because they don't want to be run by private equity, which is what we are. Blueco is private equity with Todd Boehly as well. I mean, he's not equity, but Egbali and Clear Lake, they own the majority shares, don't they? So, the sole purpose of private equity is to buy an asset and then sell it for a profit. And that's what Strasbourg don't want to be a part of. They don't care about your heritage. They don't care about your culture. They don't care about your history. We saw what Ruud Gullit had to say when asked about, Todd Boehly when he met him. I mean, to be honest with you, that's pretty horrible. Like to see one of your club legends, it's just an important part of what this club has been and the success that Chelsea have had in our history, not just as a player, but as a manager as well. It's really, really poor. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I'm saying. Ruud Gullit said, I met the Chelsea owner, Todd Boehly, introduced myself. Hi, I'm Ruud Gullit. Todd said, what do you do? He said, well, I played football. I also played and coached for Chelsea. Todd said, oh, yeah. When did you play for Chelsea and what did you do for Chelsea? He didn't know. Can I blame him? No. But this is what it is now. They don't know what the club is about. The DNA is gone. And that's just a bit. I mean, do some fucking research, guys. Do you know what I mean? Understand the fucking club you're buying. Hula also went on to say that clubs nowadays are run more as a business than by heart. For some reason, they just don't get it. It feels as if the heart is out of the football club. This is the case in Milan, Rome, Chelsea, and Manchester United as well. And yes, he's absolutely right. these establishments are not being run on footballing terms, they're being run on financial terms. And when profit is the priority in these situations, you're never going to appease fans who ultimately don't care about profit. I mean, profit's something that we can brag about if we're also successful. I mean, I would love Chelsea to be a profitable club. If that can help us on the pitch as well, it's good to have a stable club. I don't want Chelsea to get into liquidation. I don't want us to have issues with debt. Although I say that we have a lot of debt that's been leveraged against Blueco, not necessarily Chelsea. Or is it 22 Holdco Limited, one of those companies? You know, you want the best for the team financially, but when the results are poor, I don't want to be a Tottenham fan. I don't care about having the best stadium if my team's crap. I really don't care. I don't care about what Jim Radcliffe's saying. He wants to, cut the margins, but then you're kicking people who've been season ticket holders of Man United for 45, 50 years just to make way for some hospitality. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm very familiar with the hospitality scene at Chelsea. I don't personally own hospitality tickets, but I've sat in the seats many times, courtesy of family and friends. So I'm very aware of what's going on there, and no doubt that a lot of people have a lot of money to spend. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here and say that all Chelsea fans are living paycheck to paycheck. They're not. I mean, the East Executive Club tickets, which are the ones right behind the gantry, which is behind the dugout club as well, which is really poor, by the way. The dugout club is worth nothing like what they price it at. I think there was a game they charged £10,000. I was like, what? 10 grand? Are you kidding me? That's as much as one executive club season ticket before Bowley and Clear Lake came in. Those prices have gone up, by the way. That's probably closer to 13 grand now. So those prices are going up. It's funny because when I go on the Chelsea website and I actually look for it, they don't even tell you the prices anymore. Last season, they would have told you the prices. So I can't even track it now. Maybe I have to make an official inquiry if I want to find out how much some of these seats cost. I know that people in the Tambling Suite, the Bobby Tambling Suite, saying that they're paying about £4,000 a year or £3,000 a year. The prices are going up by 30% next season. That's what I've heard. 30%. What's 30% of £4,000? Let's just say. It's £1,200. That's a fucking joke. So it's just not affordable for a lot of fans to go to games. And if owners had that little bit of compassion for fans, I think that you could understand it a little bit more. That's where a lot of the frustration comes from. So, I mean, I have a lot of sympathy for Ruud Gullit, but I also appreciate Bowley doesn't give a fuck. Let's not pretend like he should, based on what his priorities are. What do you think the guy cares about? The Chelsea fan base? What? He cares about expanding the fan base, not about the fans we've already got. That's job done. About that. Anyway, yeah, let's have a look as well. Got some more statistics for you people. Chelsea have picked up 17 points in their last 8 Premier League games. Won 5, drawn 2, lost 1, having collected just 9 points from their previous 10 beforehand when they won 2, drew 3, and lost 5. That's according to BBC Sport. Okay, so we are in a better run of form coming into this Liverpool game. Yeah. If Liverpool were to win tomorrow, this would be their first league double over Chelsea since winning the title in 1920 when Frank Lampard was our manager. Big up to you, Harry. I hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah. I mean, he is one of the most iconic players in our history. He's iconic in the 90s. I mean, yeah, not necessarily this century, but in the 90s, it's an icon. How many people do you know that have been players for this club and managers? It's a very short list. Vialli, Lampard, Ruud Gullit, Di Matteo. Anyone else? Let me know if I've missed someone. I'm sure I probably have. I'm obviously not as old as some of you. I'm a young man. Need to do some reading, get some history lessons in. Big up to you, Jay. I hope you're doing well. If Chelsea lose tomorrow, Champions League is cooked. Not entirely wrong, mate. Not wrong entirely. I hope we can do it. And you know what? The credit that I've always given is, we're still having the conversation, aren't we? We're still having the conversation. And I think after Brentford, I said that we weren't going to get Champions League under this manager. I did say that. If I'm honest, I still don't think we get Champions League under this manager. I mean, that hasn't really changed, but I'm just glad that I can still debate whether it could happen. I don't want to have another one of those seasons like, race to 40 points. Like beating Bournemouth away was the best moment of my life when Frank Lampard was the manager. That was like winning the Champions League at that point. I don't want to go back to that. So I'm glad that, I'm glad that we are not in that position. But does that justify the lack of ambition that we're still seeing from the hierarchy and from the management? Although you could argue that Maresca, he is pushing for more experience. I think that's a good thing. I'm glad that he's saying that, or that that's coming out publicly. I mean, my God. If they sack Maresca, then who the fuck out? I mean, he has been a fucking yes man from minute go. Proper yes man. Pardon me. Woo! He has been a proper yes man, hasn't he, Enzo Maresca? So, to sack him, you have... the next option is... what's his name? It's the Strasbourg manager. What's his name? I've fucking forgotten his name. Let me know the Strasbourg manager in the comments, please. I don't know why his name's... I just spoke about him. Do I think we'll catch Arsenal? No. Thank you, Zane. Liam Rosni. That's the one. And honestly, I'm not going to sit here and kid myself and act like Rosni is a solution. I haven't watched enough of Strasbourg games to really justify why I would want Rosnia. They did beat PSG 2-1. I mean, that's a great result. That's a great win. What I can say about Rosnia is, look, he's a young manager who's done well at the past two clubs he's been at. He did well at Hull before he got sacked. He really shouldn't have ever been sacked by Hull. But, he's doing a fantastic job at Strasbourg. He's doing a great job. You give me another good year at Strasbourg, and Maresca has another season similar to this with better players as well, because he will get better players. Then, yeah, you fucking get Rosnier in. If that is your yes man model, what do you honestly think we're going to get a Luis Enrique again? Get another opportunity like that? No chance. Unfortunately, we are cursed with what we have at the moment, which is a team that is built for future success so much in the sense that we sacrifice our short-term results. I feel like you've always been a bit too harsh on Maresca. Obviously, he isn't perfect, but a step up from Poch. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not sitting here saying bring back Poch. Everyone seems to think that, but I don't see it. Got knocked out early in the FA Cup, worse than last season. Got knocked out early in the Carabao Cup, worse than last season. Has a better squad than last season. Has mismanaged some of his best players from last season. Has regressed a lot of his best players from last season. Chose not to use Petrovic as his first-team goalkeeper. I believe he was absolutely influential in that decision. Gusto has regressed. Palmer has regressed. Our defence generally has progressed. There's no doubt when you look at the numbers. But individually, actually, you'd argue that Cucurella is the only player, maybe Josh Achimpong as well, that have really come along. Although Cucurella improved last season anyway. He's just come along even more this year. Achimpong has developed, I guess. I'll give you that. Chalobah has not looked anything special. He was better last year. We were able to get something out of Disasi last year. We couldn't do that this year. Baddy Shield has been pretty average anyway. Fofana injured. Midfield. Caicedo's improved. Fernandes was injured last season. It's hard to judge. Jackson, for me, has not really improved a lot. I thought he would have, but he hasn't. That being said, he could have a strong finish. So we'll see what happens there. Madueke's improved, I guess. But key players from last year, I'm just looking at, I'm like, well, haven't really improved much, have you? Palmer being one of them. Gusto being another one. Petrovic is another key player that we have to put in the conversation. So I don't think I've been harsh on Maresca. I think every single one of my points is totally valid. But I'm no pundit. Don't fool yourself into thinking people that run fan channels, myself included. I don't care if you agree with me. It's my opinion. It's literally my opinion. And I justify my points how I see fit. If you like it, brilliant. If you don't, no problem. I hope Maresca does it, and I will take my hat off to it if he gets us Champions League football. And I will let Lewis do a video and cook me. I'll sit on a chair while he just goes in and in and in. No problem. Be my guest. Ultimately, I just want us to win. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Okay, let's see what else. Again, greatness. You did that comment before I actually said, but I've already answered your question. So I will be talking, and I'll be saying very good things, very positive things, like, well done for doing your job. Congratulations. I was talking to a taxi driver. He was a Chelsea fan. Sacking Thomas Tuchel was the biggest mistake. Yeah. I'm glad you stand by it. Well, it's an opinion. It's an opinion at the end of the day. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? If you don't agree with me, no problem. Let's just talk about it. Prove that you're right, and I'll prove I'm right. Let's have a conversation. Isn't that literally the whole point of doing this? Isn't that the whole point? Okay. Really weird as well. I mean, God, Miguel Delaney, what are you on about? What is he on about this time? Cole Palmer would be open to move to Man United, according to Miguel Delaney. So many clubs would want Cole Palmer, and Manchester United are one who would. If there was any sort of possibility, they'd seriously go for him. And I think he would be open to it, but really there's no possibility to happen this summer. I mean, Miguel, I don't know what kind of reputable journalist you're looking at. Out of all clubs, why United? I don't see why they're the club, especially when they've got Bruno as well. I just think to myself, is there not another club that you could link Palmer with, that, like even a foreign club? I just don't see why United has to be the club for. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing a trick here. Maybe I'm missing something. Am I? Let me know, guys. Let me know. We've also got to give a massive congratulations to Edouard Mendy, one of the only players in history alongside Riyad Mahrez, and I think there might have been another player in there as well, to win the Champions League and the Asian Champions League. A superb achievement for a superb player when he was playing at Chelsea. He, he had a bit of a tough time towards the end. We can't kid ourselves with that. I mean, it wasn't great, was it? But there's no doubt when we won the Champions League with Mendy, he was the best goalkeeper in the world at the time. And you know who deserves credit for that? Petr Cech, the man who decided to bring Edouard Mendy to Chelsea from France. I think he was playing for, oh goodness, who was it? It's a little French team. It wasn't Nice, was it? Rennes. That's the team in France. Yeah, Rennes. And Firmino as well, another player. Big up to all of them. So, yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic achievement. I personally haven't watched those games, but from what I can say, I mean, it seems like a great achievement, and big up to everyone in Al Ali for winning that. Ivan Toney as well, another player we were linked with at one point. Not only is he making money now, but he's winning trophies in Saudi. So he's doing something out there, which is still a decent achievement. I mean, in the current market, the current players that they have out there, I think it is actually still quite hard to win a trophy. Ronaldo hasn't been able to do it at Al Nassr. So Al Ali, they have, they've made some good strides in that respect. Also got a couple of quotes from Jadon Sancho. He's speaking about, Chelsea's form in general. He says there are games that we could have won when we missed chances, but we were getting back into that. We are getting back into that rhythm again. He said it's going to be difficult over the next 4 games, but we're going to take it game by game. Hopefully we can get results. He also said we're finding form again. We are going into each game 100%, and we know what we have to achieve at the end of the season. The Premier League is so competitive. One week you can be 3rd, the next week you can be 6th. Each game is crucial. He's not wrong there. He is not wrong there. And I hope that Jadon Sancho can be a part of that. I mean, I've got nothing against that happening. Let's see what happens. A little bit more interest as well around another player. I don't know if any of you are aware of a player called Wesley. He's a player that's playing for Flamengo at the moment, caught offside, who have been heavily involved in a lot of the transfer talk that we've heard at the moment, which implies that, let's be real, that there's probably quite a lot of quote-unquote misinformation, although we can never know for certain. They say that Chelsea have made initial contact with Wesley's representatives expressing interest in securing his services. The Blues are prepared to offer around 20 million euros, though Flamengo are holding out for a fee closer to 30 or 35 million Euros. Now, I honestly don't know too much about Wesley. I haven't seen him play. He's according to what I'm seeing, he's a right back, and there was some links via Liverpool, Inter Milan as well, and Everton as well, another team that were linked with Wesley in January. There's also been some news on some of the Liverpool's sites as well, saying that Liverpool are in the mix, viewing Wesley as a potential successor to Trent Alexander-Arnold. And the scouting department have been taking a look at the player. A right back, is that our priority at the moment? I don't know, man. Really? Listen, I don't have a problem with who we sign. I mean, if you're going to sign young prospects, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we'd just be following the model that we implemented from the get-go. And if there's one thing that's worse than implementing a bad model, it's not having a model at all and constantly changing. Now, what you can do to improve your model is you can mix youth with experience. But if you go down the opposite route now and just disregard the youth setup that you've been trying to bring in, then 5 years down the line, you won't really have much to show for it. I mean, you will with some players, but the idea is that you keep having players coming through consistently all the time. Would I sell Levi Cowwell for 60 mil? Good question. Right now, I'd say no. If he had another season like what he had this season, I would accept probably a decent fee for the player. And I know his value would probably go down as well. If someone was offering me 60 million right now for Cowwell, I'd say no. Because we know he has a lot of potential and he has played really, really well. And he's a good ball playing centre back. I think actually it's been his defending that's really annoyed me, and his rashness and his inability to control his head. If that player has a yellow card on the pitch, he is one of those players that you think, I need to make a substitution because he's going to get a red. He's going to get that second yellow. That's one of the things I feel about Levi Cowwell when I watch him play, which is frustrating, especially considering Paul Winstanley views him as a potential leader. I spoke to people at Brentford away. I sat next to a guy who, for whatever reason, was involved with something to do with Chelsea. And that was to do with, our transfers. He was asking about our policy. We need leaders. That was the key thing. We need to bring in leaders. Who do you think is a suitable leader to bring? Where are the leaders in this squad? We don't really have any. And the answer was Levi Cowwell. And it's like, hang on, what? He's a young player. It's like, no. We can make him a leader. We can develop him into a leader. It's like, well, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it doesn't really work like that. You're either a leader or you're not a leader. So if you're telling me you can develop someone into a leader, where are the signs of development that I'm seeing as someone who watches the games consistently? Because we could all see John Terry was a leader. We could all see Michael Ballack was a leader. We could all see Frank Lampard was a leader in his own right. Drogba, all of these players, Petr Cech. So what are we missing with Levi Cowwell when you say that he could be developed into a leader? Where is the progression since he's been at Chelsea to show how much he's matured? One thing I will say, having been to Cobham and spoken to a lot of the players, I spoke with Malagusto, really nice bloke. I saw Palmer. He was cool. Not particularly chatty guy, but he's fine. Who else did I speak with? Those were the main ones. Bettinelli was really nice. The third choice goalkeeper. I love Petrovic as well, actually. Petrovic is a nice bloke. I told him he was like Petr Cech when I met him. I don't think I was wrong, actually, either. I think he enjoyed that compliment. But yeah, out of everyone that I met at the training ground, Levi Cowwell was definitely the best. Best with the fans. Great talker, smiley, happy to give his time. I don't have any criticisms. In terms of his personality, I think he's a great personality to have. I mean, what we're talking about right now is strictly football. That's all we're talking about. I mean, I ask you in the chat as well, what do you think about Levi Cowwell? Do you believe that he is a player we should be looking to cash in on, if that means we can bring in Mark Gurhey or Dean Hoyson, for example? I would say the answer is really no. I just don't. I think it's too early to say. What is it that Hoyson has that Cowwell doesn't have? Yeah, he's had a good season in the league, and Cowwell didn't. He had fucking great time in Brighton. So no real reason for us to make that signing at the cost of a player like Cowwell. Why not just have them all? I mean, if you're a top team, you're going to have to rotate anyway. Why do fans get so caught up in how much a player costs, or we sell them for it? Literally makes zero difference to anyone. It's not our money. The fees are literally irrelevant. I'd have to disagree with that, Brad's dad, because it affects PSR, which affects the profitability of the club. If the club is not profitable, or if it loses too much money, then you will see increases in tickets. You will see things at the club becoming more expensive in order to raise funds and increase revenues. So when we look at that, I would say that it is important how much a player costs, because if we buy Fofana for 80 million and sell him for 10, do you think that is a sustainable business model? Same with Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo, if they were to flop. Let's just imagine. Luckily, they haven't. So, yeah, I think that we can be a little bit more. I think it's good to be aware of what's happening. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Joel Hatto is a baller. He'll cook at Chelsea. Well, missed my point. I'm very aware of the accounts he works, but to the fans, it makes zero difference. Well, no, it doesn't make any difference, but it's just interesting, isn't it? It's fun to talk about, I guess. That's probably the reason people do it. It's just fun. So I don't really know what else to say. From a Liverpool perspective as well, obviously we know they are top of the league. We know that they are already Premier League champions. We're going to have to get them the Guard of Honor. Can you believe that? Bloody Guard of Honor. What a disgrace. Yeah, they still have a number of fixtures to play. Arne Slot has come out and said they will rotate. They will have different players for this game. Apart from us, they're also going to have Arsenal in the league at home. They're going to have Brighton away, and they're going to finish off against Crystal Palace. Arne Slot has come out and praised Chelsea. He's spoken about, the fact that we were the team that made Liverpool suffer more than anything. And I agree with that, by the way. I think that, honestly, Chelsea, the performance was very respectable when we went to Anfield. I mean, I had nothing but positive things to say, generally speaking, apart from the fact that, we could have avoided the goal that we conceded. Sanchez potentially could have done a little better. Maybe I'm nitpicking here. But generally speaking, I think what we have to do is we have to look at what we were able to offer in that game. We offered an awful lot, but we got nothing for it. We looked dangerous, but it wasn't enough. In fact, my caption for the vlog was Neto looked dangerous, but it still wasn't enough. Isn't that the story of our season at times? I mean, just watching the last minute of that game, you could see, you could feel that the Liverpool fans respected our team. If you go to a stadium and they are booing you and whistling you and jeering you, it's for two reasons: either because it's a derby, or because the other team knows that you're good, genuinely good, and they think you're a threat, and that's why they do it. All right, they're not going to do the same thing to Crystal Palace. All right, no disrespect to Crystal Palace. In fact, I've got the last minute on the vlog just to give you an idea of what the atmosphere was like at Anfield, because I thought it was amazing. I thought it was incredible. Just have a listen to this. There's signs you can hear from that Liverpool fan say nothing more than we actually respect you, like when you have the ball. And if we would have continued playing anything like that this season, we would have comfortably been a Champions League team. We would have fucking challenged for the title, if I'm being honest. I'm not saying we would have won it, but we would have been right up there, ahead of Arsenal. But it didn't continue that way, did it? And that's where we had our sort of spiral. But Arne Slot knows what Chelsea can offer. Maybe Maresca is able to pull something out the bag. Even if teams aren't necessarily better than their opposition, there are managers that, for whatever reason, can cause other managers problems. We saw it with Pochettino and Guardiola. Well, I mean, Maresca didn't beat Slot, but he gave him a good run for his money. Hopefully we can try and get a win in the home game, because in the away game we got absolute zilch. Let me know your score predictions in the chat as well. I'd like to know what you're thinking going into this game. Are you feeling confident? Are you struggling? I mean, when we look at Chelsea as well, I mean, our track record against well, they've got a team comparison as well. This is on Liverpool's website. This is what we can compare between the two teams in attack. Obviously, they have significantly more goals. They have only just more shots on target than us. About the same shot accuracy, slightly higher conversion rate. They've got more assists as well. So in those areas, Liverpool are much better than we are. They've only conceded 8 less goals than us. 14 clean sheets, though. 111 shot face, 363 tackle. Their tackle success rate is much better. We've actually won more duels than Liverpool, and our duel success rate is similar. Distribution, discipline as well. Fucking hell, look at the yellow cards, guys. That's ridiculous. 92 yellow cards compared to 60. I mean, that is definitely something to look at for next season. We need to keep... This is what I was saying about Cowwell as well. Other players, keep a lid on it. This is what else they had to say. These are the only 2 players that we have absent. And Selmino, who's never plays, and Mark Guiu as well, who wouldn't have played in this game. We're assessing the fitness of Kungu and Robert Sanchez. So we'll see. What did Maresca have to say? It's always nice to play in this kind of game, but I don't think Liverpool will be any different or relaxed because they have already won the title. They are a very good team and deserve to win the Premier League this season. The gap is there. You can see clearly. My feeling is that we are in the right direction. And hopefully this gap can be smaller and closer next season. Perhaps the differences between the sides, that they have probably been a lot more, well, they have definitely been a lot more consistent, Enzo. I don't think you need to say that, probably, but he's not English. We'll give him that. Compared to us over the entire season, for parts of the season, we were very good. Then we lost some games, and this is the main reason why Liverpool did not lose many games in these periods. Also, in terms of experienced players who know how to win games and these type of things, they have something more compared to us. Pre-match stats as well. Chelsea have picked up 17 points in their last 8 Premier League matches, having taken 9 points from their previous 10 games. Only 3 players have created more chances in the division than Enzo Fernandez. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea have lost just one of their last 26 games played during May. Interesting stat. Only Liverpool have created more opta-defining big chances in the Premier League this season than Chelsea as well. So there's some stats for you people. There's some stats there. If you haven't already, guys, smash the like button as well. Subscribe to the channel. It all helps. We've got over 70 people in the building. If you want to support the channel, you can do it in many ways, but that is the easiest. Doesn't cost a penny. Makes a big difference as well. And as always, I appreciate it. We've got just over 30 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 50 on the video, and then we can go from there. Appreciate all your support. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Score predictions. Let's have a look. Steven says we usually draw. Byron says 2-1 win against Liverpool tomorrow. Interesting. I'm here for it, mate. I'm here for it. 1-0 win will do for me, but maybe a draw. I'm thinking Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. 2-1 Chelsea, Jackson goal. We either draw or a blunder from Sanchez. Hey, I mean, we'll see what happens. From a Chelsea perspective, though, I'm expecting to see a strong side. I mean, we rotated heavily for the game against Jadon. We'll see Sanchez in goal. We'll see Cucurella as the left back, centre back options. I expect to see Cowwell alongside Tosin. To be honest with you, I think that Tosin played really well. I would be surprised, though, if he was to start given the amount of minutes he had in Sweden. So for that reason, even though I thought he had a really good game, I will say Chalobah will start that game. Caicedo inverting as a right back with Lavia in the middle. And then we're going to have Enzo Fernandez in there as well. Palmer, Madueke. I'm going to say Sancho. Neto can come on as an impact sub. I'm going to say Sancho. I think he deserves a start. And then we finish off with Nicholas Jackson. So there's enough quality in this team to cause Liverpool some problems. I guess really in a lot of ways it depends. Depends how they line up. I mean, if they rotate heavily, then it's not. I mean, they beat us with kids last season. So even if they did, that joke can still be used. Who knows? Who would I rather keep? I would rather keep both of them, Will. Don't ask me silly questions like that. Who would you rather keep, Will? That's what I want to know. Would you rather keep Dewsbury Hall or Sterling? Oh, actually, that's easy. I'd rather keep Dewsbury Hall. I was going to say Dewsbury Hall or Sterling. Would you rather keep Dewsbury Hall or Disassi? There's my challenge for you. Dewsbury Hall or Disassi? Battle of the flops, of the unwanted players. Greatness says 3-1 Palmer hat-trick. I'm here for it. I'll take that. Nothing wrong with that. My score prediction for this game. I would go with... I haven't got a clue. I need to see the lineup. I can't make a prediction, people. Can't do it. The pressure's getting to me. The pressure. I don't know, guys. Give me a break. Anyway, appreciate your time, guys. I'm going to stream in the morning tomorrow as well. So jump on the stream. I'll start about 10 o'clock. Okay. So come and join me tomorrow morning before the game. I'll do my predicted lineup as well in terms of what I think Maresca will do and also what I want. And you can chip in if you want. We can do a lineup together. And big up to you all. It's a big day coming up. Try and enjoy it. This is why we're football fans. This is why we love the beautiful game. Moments like this where we could pull something out of the bag, even though we don't necessarily expect it. So appreciate you all coming on. Smash that like button if you haven't already. And I will see you very, very soon. All the best, guys.